Hello, welcome back to the channel, and this is a channel where we give you reviews, don't do unboxings, might do a few playthroughs in the near future, but today we are talking about a cooperative team-based skirmish game. We're going to be talking about Guards of Atlantis II, and in this game you'll be moving your hero around the map. You'll be trying to push your minions forward towards your opponent's throne room in the hope that you can do this within the time limit that will allow you to win the game. So in this video we're going to be giving you a very brief overview of the rules. We're telling you what we do like, what we don't like. Then we'll come back and we'll tell you whether or not Guards of Atlantis II is worth your time and bother today and in the future. So remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel, hit the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. And we'll see you after this. Bollocks. So, Guards of Atlantis II, how'd you play this game? So Guards of Atlantis 2 is a cooperative based team game, so you're going to split yourselves up into 2 teams of 2 or 2 teams of 3, and each player will take a hero miniature. You'll have a hero player board and you will have a deck of cards. You'll have 5 basic cards in your hand at the start of the game, and there will be opportunities to upgrade these cards later on in the game. So you'll dump a load of minions from both sides in the center. This is going to be called the battle zone, and the way this game works is that you'll be trying to maneuver your heroes around to destroy minions that will then allow you to push your minions forward in like a sort of mobber style thing. It's basically based on like a video game concept, a bit like Rum and Bones, you know what I mean, where you have the crew that you don't control, they move backwards and forwards as if they're on rails type thing. So this game takes place over a number of rounds. Each round is going to consist of 4 turns. On your turn you'll choose a card from your hand, put it face down on the table. Everyone will do this at the same time and then they will reveal. You'll then execute the action on your card, and once you've done that, you'll place it down on your player board. Once you have played 4 actions, you'll do a bit of cleanup and then you'll go again until the end game conditions have been met, and then one team or the other will win. So when you play a card from your hand, you'll see that there is a primary action which is usually accompanied by some text, and then you'll have a secondary action which is on the left hand side of the card in like a banner thing. If you decide to take the primary action, you can also choose to activate the text on the card, but if you choose the secondary action, you are not allowed to do that. You can only use the action that's located in the banner, right? So you might want to do the move action. This is a little boot thing, and you'll move up to the number of spaces that the card tells you to. Can't move for obstacles like another player's hero or minions or the black spaces on the board, but you can choose to do a fast travel. If there is no enemy pieces in the section that you are moving from and moving to, then you can move to any space that you like in the region that you are in, or the one that you want to move to. But these have to be adjacent to each other. So you can also attack and defend. You'll see that there are sword icons. If you want to attack, you'll have ranged attack, which will give you a range, and then you'll have melee attack, which is adjacent. So the number on the sword icon is the attack strength that you have got, and this is modified in a number of ways. If you're adjacent to a minion, it's going to give you +1. If you've got a ranged minion within 2 spaces of the defender, then you're going to have +1 to that, and there's going to be -1 if the defender has got minions next to them. They don't get help from the defense from ranged minions. Once you have determined your attack strength, then the defender has got the opportunity to defend, right? They will have to discard a card from their hand with a shield icon on it that has got equal to or more attack strength than you have got. And remember, this is modified in the ways that we just told you that you've already fucking forgotten, haven't you? So you can also do a clear action, which means you can get rid of any tokens that are on the board that are adjacent to you, and you can also do the hold action, which is basically passing and doing fuck all. After 4 turns you'll have a minion battle. You'll add up all of the minions on the board. The team with the most minions will basically win the round, and the team that had the least minions will have to remove a number of minions equal to the difference between the 2 teams. And once the heavy minion has been defeated, because they have to be defeated last, then you'll be able to push the lane. This means that you'll move 1 region closer to your enemy's throne room. You will then retrieve all your cards and you will be forced to level up. If you've got enough coins to level up, then you'll have to do so. What you do is you'll choose a color card like red, for instance. You look through your deck for the 2 red cards, you'll choose one of them, replace it with the original card, and then you'll turn the other one upside down, and this will give you like a benefit like +1 attack, defense, or initiative, or something like that, you know what I mean? So you will keep doing this. You'll keep playing cards from your hand, attacking, defending, moving, all that sort of stuff. And there are 3 ways for you to win this game, yeah? You can win a lane push when the battle zone is adjacent to the enemy's throne room. You can defeat enemy heroes until they run out of life counters, yeah? Or you can win the final lane push during the final round if you're playing like a 5-round game. It's going to be in the 5th round, in it, fucking donuts. So yeah, then the player who fulfilled one of those conditions will be the winner of Guards of Atlantis 2. So what do we like about Guards of Atlantis 2? Well, the fact that we haven't played Guards of Atlantis 1 means that we're coming into this with a fresh pair of eyes, yeah? The fact that you've only got 5 cards in your hand at any given time means that the options are relatively easy to remember, yeah? There's loads and loads of games out there where you're going to keep on adding cards to your hand. You're going to get into this muddle, not knowing what each card does. Too many options, too much card text. But the fact that you're going to have a red card, a green card, a silver card, yeah? And even if you upgrade them, they're just going to be more powerful versions of the cards you've already seen, yeah? So you're not going to get yourself into a fucking tiswas over complexity, yeah? Because the actions on the cards are actually relatively simple, and you're going to be recycling the same cards throughout the game, yeah? That is great for fucktards like me. Yeah, and probably you. The second thing that we quite like about this is that this is a rare example of a cooperative game where you haven't got a loudmouth bastard shouting their fucking head off. The fact that you are in teams, and there's a rule whereby once you have all revealed your cards, you can no longer confer as a team. You have to keep your mouth shut, which is going to be very, very difficult for me. Means that there's not going to be a person telling you what the fuck you should be doing, yeah? There's so many cooperative games where you get this, well, I don't know what I call it. Is it like alpha gamer or some fucking term like that? I don't know. Where someone takes over and they could just shout louder than everybody else, and they're basically telling you what you should do, yeah? You don't really get that in this. Well, I suppose you could do. I haven't really experienced that with this. But then again, I don't really play games with people that do that anyway. I wouldn't see a way for somebody to tell you what to do, because once you shut the fuck up, yeah, you're on your own, and if they talk, then they're going to be taken outside and have their penis cut off with a fucking rusty hacksaw, yeah? I've seen it happen. The final thing that we quite like about this is that there are plenty of options to chain actions together, not only your actions, yeah, but you can confer in the early stages of the round and then plan to chain actions together. Like a good example of this is last time we played it, I didn't have an attack card, so I pushed a minion towards one of my teammates, and then they whacked it around the head with a fucking cudgel and killed it, and that allowed us to push the lane forward, yeah? So the fact that you can chain actions together not only on your turn, but you can confer to have like a game plan between each other where you will be playing off your teammates' cards means that there is a lot of strategic depth in this game, more so than other skirmish games where information is kind of hidden, do you know what I mean? So what don't we like about Guards of Atlantis 2? So the first thing that we don't like about this is that the fact you can't confer after you've revealed your cards means you're not going to get someone telling you what to do. However, this is a pain in the ass because there's been numerous occasions where we've been playing this where we forget about that rule and we start going, well, you could do this and you could do that over here because you're desperate to win the game, aren't you? Yeah. And it happens on both sides, and somebody's going to be saying, no, shut the fuck up. And then somebody's going to be going, oh, mate, I'm sorry, I didn't realise, yeah. And by then it's too late. You've already highlighted something that your teammate didn't see, or that you saw after the cards were revealed, yeah? So it can be a pain in the arse. The rulebook doesn't give you any kind of penalty for that. So, you know, some unscrupulous bastard might do it deliberately, but you just got to learn to keep your mouth shut, yeah? Which is fucking difficult for me. So the second thing that we don't like about this is that even the short game is sometimes too long, yeah? You can get dragged into a war of attrition with this game, okay? You're only going to have 3 turns of the counters, yeah? But if you haven't got a winner by then, all of your efforts could amount to fuck all, because it's the team that wins the third one that is going to win the game, yeah? So you could dominate this game all the way through, and then through a twist of fate, or because someone farted and made you laugh and you lost your train of thought, then you might lose the game because your opponent won the lane push on the last round, yeah? I wouldn't play the long game of this, yeah, because I don't think I'm going to live that long, yeah? I don't think I'm going to live till 85, yeah? I think 3 hours for the short game. Yeah, I know there's going to be some fucking wankers out there going like, oh, I don't think it's an hour. Yeah, well, well, you must be living on a fucking another planet then, right? Yeah, there's going to be people out there saying, like, it doesn't take 3 hours to play the short game, but it did for us, and there you go. I don't give a fuck about what you did. So the final thing that we don't like about this game is that sometimes you feel like your cards are doing fuck all, yeah? Because the main aim of this game is to get stuck in and have a scrap here. There's a couple of cards in the deck that don't have a level number on it, like a numeral thing, and generally they're a bit shit, yeah? They just set you up for another round, or you can use them to fast travel, yeah? If you end up with those towards the tail end of the round, not really going to be able to do anything, and you're going to be thinking, well, all I've got is this. You can't synergize that, and you feel like you're wasting a couple of turns. They do come in useful now and again, but it depends on what happens in the game. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes those cards are a real pain in the arse, and you just feel like you might as well just flush them down the fucking toilet, you know what I mean? To summarise, is Guards of Atlantis 2 worth your time and bother today and in the future? So we are going to say yes, Guards of Atlantis 2 is a rare example of a cooperative game where coordination actually matters and you're not just fumbling around trying to find your balls in the dark, right? It is long, and the fact that you can't talk is a bit of a ball ache, because if you've got a brain the size of a tsetse fly like me, you're going to fucking forget it, yeah? And you're going to impart information that's important and your opponents aren't going to like it, yeah? This is one of the better co-op team games that we have played. I really did enjoy this game, yeah? There's some real strategic depth in it. There's no luck here. There's no rolling of the dice. There's no random card draws or anything like that. It just would have been nice if there was just a smidge more content in the box, yeah, because it does feel a bit like this was a Kickstarter game, and it does feel a little bit like a lot of the content that should be in the box was reserved for some of the expansions or some of the add-ons and all that, yeah. But it's still a fine game. It's still one of the best team-based co-op, if that makes sense, games out there. And yeah, it comes highly recommended from us. So there you go. That is Guards of Atlantis 2. Remember, if you're new here, then please consider subscribing to this channel with the like button and all that YouTube bullshit. We will see you next time.